Buen dia, and my name is Corban, and this is Peter. Today we're going to be talking about instant gratification, right? The graveyard of instant gratification. Now, I want to bring your attention to our generation, the timeline we live in, and I want you to look around what you see. Look at the people you see around yourself, right? Look at your environment. Observe yourself. Do you know what I see? Think about what you see for a second. Now I'm going to tell you what I see. I see a graveyard of instant gratification. And although that is a slightly pessimistic view, I want you to stick with me for a second and explore what I mean by that. Now, what this video is being displayed on a screen that you're watching right now. I'm not condemning you, just pay attention to that. You're watching this on a screen. Now, how long have you been on the screen for? How long have you been watching this screen for, right? Have you ever thought about why it is that you are so compelled to be on the screen for hours a day, 14 hours a day, God forbid, 8 hours a day? Now, and the reason I'm bringing this to your conscious, I want you to stick with me for a second, because God knows the last time you were conscious of the things you were doing, right? So stick with me for a second and think about this clearly. And I want to preface by saying, I don't want to make a blanket claim to say that this video will change your life, but what I will say with full confidence is that if you put the things that call out to you through this video into action in your life will change. But it's up to you. See, the contingent is always on you. If you do not make the changes necessary, or make the things that call out to your reality in your life, there will be no change. And you would have wasted another 10 minutes, another 15 minutes of your life, right? So you have to be willing to put these things into practice. Now I'm going to walk you through what I mean when I say we live in a graveyard of instant gratification. I know that sentence doesn't really make sense, but hear me out. Now we exist in a world of technology, right? Heightened technology. It's a blessing, quite honestly. The technology that we have nowadays is a tremendous blessing. We can do so much with technology. But I want you to zone in and focus your attention on the phone for a second. Now we have these mini boxes walking around with, these mini tiny boxes walking around with, these boxes of joy and entertainment and fulfillment and excitement. I want you to focus on the app Instagram and how that operates. So you can choose any app of your liking, Facebook, TikTok, whatever, right? We use these apps, and as soon as we commit a certain action on these apps, as soon as we post a video, immediately the likes start rolling in. Oh, heart there, heart everywhere, right? Hearts everywhere. Now, that is not natural. And the reason that's not natural is because in the real world, in the natural world, we do not get immediate gratification or immediate recognition for the things that we do. Meaningful things take a long, long time to reach the eyes and ears of other people, because you have to sit and stay in the lab for hours at a time, honing your craft, honing your skills to make it presentable and worthy to the populace. Now that is represented by the social media that we are so flooded with nowadays, that every single human being from the age of like 6 today has in the palm of their hands, right? And that has an effect on our brain. Now, I want you to think about big goals that you have, big dreams that you want to achieve. Why is it that you have not taken the first step or even 15 steps in that direction? Because let me tell you something, if anything is worthwhile, then it takes a long time to achieve. It takes a very, very, very long time to achieve. And it will be painstaking. It will be a painstaking process. It will be grueling, right? It's an upward climb. And if it's worth it, then that, proportionate to the worth and value of the thing that you want to achieve, is the amount of time you have to spend away to honing your skills, away from the crowd, away from the smiles and the likes and the hearts and the love, right? So you have to train yourself to be in that mode, away from this gratification, away from the smiles and the likes and the hearts, so you can hone your craft, because that is how the natural world functions. Now, I'm not here blaming you or here condemning anyone for falling prey to social media. I have, you have, we all have, right? What I am here to do is to open your eyes to see why it is that you are not achieving your goals. And you know, We could go into conspiracy theories about why these things happen. I think that's a waste of time. People who dive too deep into conspiracy theories are not spending enough time on their own life to fix their own situation. So this video is about fixing your own situation. You have dreams, and let me tell you something. There is no one coming to achieve those dreams for you. You have to open your eyes to see clearly in order to walk the path that you want to go down. Now, this is a graveyard of instant gratification. What do you do about it? How do we live in a graveyard of instant gratification? Well, the first thing you do is open your eyes and see that you only have 24 hours in a day. And you cannot keep coping your way through life. You cannot keep coping your way through life. There are challenges that need to be attended to. There are things that need to be fixed. And in order to have real gratification, a sense of purpose, fulfillment, and diligence, you have to have tremendous focus. And although that might not be sexy, it might not be beautiful, it might not be awesome, it is still necessary, right? Life is not a game of happiness. We're not here on this earth to be happy. We're here to be fulfilled. And how you do that is by focusing on certain tasks. You want to get an A in this class. What is it going to take, right? It will take many nights on end of studying. Now you ask yourself, oh, when I was younger and I was in middle school, I used to be a smart kid. I used to get straight A's, but as soon as I got to college or even high school, man, I don't know what happened. I can tell you what happened. You became accustomed to instant gratification, maybe not by any fault of your own. Again, social media, so popular. But that's what happened to the majority of people. People who complain about these things, that's what happened to me to some degree, right? Where it was easy back in the day to get these achievements, to claim all these accolades, but it's harder by the day. It's because we become accustomed to instant gratification. Our minds have been rewired, right? Or neurochemistry has changed. There are different neural pathways that we've developed in our minds to say that, okay, as soon as I do this thing, then I must get an instant feel of a spark, right? It's become a sort of high for us. If we begin writing an essay and it doesn't begin to click immediately, we start twitching, right? Our eyes begin to twitch, our fingers, our feet begin moving because we're anxious, because our mind has become so accustomed to getting that gratification instantly. And I want you to think about this for a second. Instant gratification is almost synonymous to distraction. And I think that's a beautiful thing to see and understand. Instant gratification is almost synonymous to distraction. Why is that? Think about this. When a climber, a hiker, is going up a mountain, one of the most common advice they hear is that do not look at the summit, look at your feet. Do not look at the thing that you want to achieve. Don't stare at that. Yes, you can look up every once in a while, glance up, have a direction, have a vision. But you can't be staring at the mountaintop. You will get discouraged. Stare at your feet. And staring at your feet is an injunction to looking at where you are right now, putting the attention on yourself. What is it that I'm doing wrong or doing right that will lead me away from or toward my goal? That is what your focus needs to be, right? So when you look at your immediate circumstances, then instant gratification becomes less of a temptation, right? And that is where the value comes in. Now, I want you to think about this for a second. Instant gratification is almost synonymous to distraction, right? And think about this. Peter, the reason Peter is by my side right now is because Peter knows that if he invests in this relationship and he's not continuously focused on other distractions, he's not instantly gratified, he's not trying to be instantly gratified, then he knows this relationship will be built, right? Which creates the perfect segue for me, because I want you to think about the effect that instant gratification has had on modern relationships. Why most relationships nowadays are failing. Why guys and girls are dating in record low numbers. Why people are hardly reproducing. Why marriages are being destroyed. Why the divorce rate is going through the roof, right? And I think instant gratification has a big role to play in those issues. Now, I want you to think about this for a second. Think about the media that we consume and how it portrays relationships, right? And this is not to bash anyone who is a romantic. I'm a romantic. If you're a teenage girl or a teenage guy and you consider yourself to be a romantic, you probably indulge in a lot of romantic films, a lot of romantic books. Hey, there's no more power to you. You know, I think it's beautiful to be romantic in this life because it creates a sense of optimism, right? But the danger in that is that the way the media portrays those things is not natural to the real world. It's merely a portrayal, right? So sometimes when people get into relationships and they see this person of the opposite sex or this person that they were in love with, right? They see this person as somehow there to meet their needs, right? They want this person to immediately gratify them. And they might say, oh, I don't expect them to be perfect. I don't expect him to be perfect. I don't expect her to be perfect. Listen, very, very few people actually believe that. Because the finest thing that comes up in the midst of that relationship that disturbs one party or another, you'll see it's only a matter of time. It's a ticking time bomb, right? Why? Because mainly that is how relationships are portrayed in the media. And you might say, oh, well, not the Corban, that's not true. Movies, they have many problems and they figure it out. Yeah. But the timeline of a movie is an hour and a half, typically, right? And you're only able to sit through that for an hour and a half. And most of the time you're scrolling on your phone half the movie anyway, right? So that doesn't register in your brain. You think that these challenges are short term and you'll get over them very soon. Listen, life is not like that. And people are extremely complex creatures. And immediate gratification through the media and through our consumption of such media has allowed our brain to think, maybe not us on the conscious level, but subconsciously, a lot of us think that relationships are supposed to be easy, that they're supposed to be just fun, that they're supposed to be just for happiness. And listen, let me tell you, life is not for happiness. The purpose of life is not happiness. It is instead fulfillment and purpose and passion. That's what life is about. And until you understand that, you will continue to suffer for a long, long, long time, right? So back to instant gratification and how that affects relationships. Divorce rates are at record highs, especially here in the US. And I think the appeal for and toward instant gratification is to blame for that. You know, that's not the only thing, but that's a huge reason why. Because subconsciously, our brains have been rewired, or neurochemistry has been rewired. We have neural pathways to say that, oh, things that I want, whatever it is that I want, should appear to me in a short amount of time, right? Quickly, right? In a fast, speedy manner. And that is not how the natural world operates. That is not how relationships will ever operate. That's not how they've ever operated, right? And so the faster you're able to rewire your brain and see that instant gratification is your enemy, the faster you'll be able to have a stronger marriage. The faster you'll be able to have a wonderful family. The better job you'll have, the better career you'll have, the better you'll be in your profession. Because anything great, anything worthwhile is hard to achieve. It is a painstaking process. It's a difficult process and requires intense focus, right? And a commitment to the goal. And instant gratification will never serve in that regard. So the quicker you can get rid of these things that gratify you immediately, it's a drug, guys. It's a drug. It's a drug. And I have the same. Nowadays, almost everyone is addicted to something. If it's not nicotine, it's something else. Maybe other things I can't list on here, but you know what I'm talking about. There are many things out there that people are addicted to. Maybe it's attention, Instagram likes, eyes, eyeballs, right? We need to get rid of these addictions because it's stealing from our focus. And things that are worthwhile, things that are worth achieving require an intense amount of focus, right? Nothing great is easy. Nothing great is easy. And so you do yourself a huge favor if you're able to quench your need and desire for instant gratification. Yes, one should seek gratification. Why not? Cannot be instant. Should not be instant. Nothing worthwhile is instant, usually, right? So you'll do yourself a massive favor if you take heed to what I said in this video and you implement it in your life and you use it, because that is how your life will change. Not simply by watching the video, but regurgitating what I say and meditating on it, thinking about it deeply and applying it in your life. And Peter here will agree that if you want to see more videos like this, you should hit the subscribe button. If you want to be encouraged like this in the future, you should hit the subscribe button. If you want to be directed on the right path, as I go on the right path, as I myself continue to trot along the correct path, then you might want to hit the subscribe button. My name is Corban, and this is Corban Conversations. I'm so thankful you're here. Continue tuning in. There'll be more to come. Seek on. Seek on. Never back down. Never look back. Never falter. Never look to the left nor to the right. Keep your head straight. Keep going. Thank you.